Hi, I'm Peggy at Headshots by Peggy, and today on The Headshot, we're going to talk about marketing. You guys know I say it a bazillion times, your headshot is the biggest part of your marketing strategy. But how do you use your headshots? What does that mean? So we're going to kind of talk about that today. What does it mean to have a marketing strategy? Your headshot is oftentimes your very first introduction to a casting agency. The first time they see you is more than likely at the point they see your headshot. So your headshot has to pop. And I've talked about this a dozen times. What does that mean, pop? Well, it's a multiple of things. It's not just the color of clothing. It's not just the background. It's not just the editing style. It's actually you and your emotions and your engagement with the camera. So your headshot photographer's job is to get you engaged in that camera so that they can capture your essence, who you actually are, that represents the character, that represents the person that you're going to be auditioning for or that you're submitting for. So that's kind of the job of a headshot. Now, it's very important that you talk a lot with your agents and managers because they're the ones that are actually out there submitting your headshots. And they know what's working and what's not working, and they know what roles they're submitting you for. So I always suggest before you come in to me to get headshots that you take the time to talk to your representation. Find out where they think the holes are. Find out where they think your strengths are. Find out what they think is the missing, piece to the puzzle. And then we can focus on getting all those gaps closed so that when they're out there submitting you, they have a strong headshot for everything they want to submit you for. So headshots are designed to catch the casting director's eye. We talk about this. But I want to talk to you a little bit about other things in the headshot genre that an actor can use to market themselves. Sometimes you'll send out postcards. Sometimes it's an Instagram post. Sometimes there's other things that you're using your image to market yourself and get yourself noticed and seen. I'm going to tell you what happened to us recently. Merrick has meetings with his representation. He checks in with them fairly often. And his manager called him the other day and said, hey, I want some new headshots. Now, Merrick has some pretty strong headshots. And so I was a little bit surprised and taken back. And he sent a link. He's like, I want something on this style. And so we were like, well, absolutely, but you understand those really aren't headshots. Those are really artistic stuff. It was kind of more like a magazine cover or a book cover or a video game cover, that kind of a little bit more photoshopped, a little bit more artsy with really dramatic lighting, backlighting and, a lot more edgy, I guess. And the manager said, no, I know these aren't a typical headshot. This isn't, but I've got an idea. I want to, try to use this to market him a little bit differently. And so that's what I mean by don't put yourself in a box. Listen to your representation. If they're like, hey, let's try this, and you think, well, that's not the type that I am, or that's not the character that I am, or that doesn't represent me. Well, why don't you give it a try? Listen to your representation, because they're the ones that are out there. They're not just submitting you, but they're submitting other people, and they're seeing what other people have that work. They're seeing what people are looking at. They've got an eye and basically a finger on the pulse of what's happening and what people are responding to more than you do as an actor. So when somebody that's submitting you, they're part of your team, their job is to get you, they want you to work. They want to get you out there. So that's their job. So listen to them and work together as a team to market yourself. And, ask them, hey, what can I do to help you do your job more efficiently? Like, what can I do to market myself? Do you want me to send out postcards? Do you want me to send out emails? Do you want me to put together this cool little, whatever it is, on social media? What will help you market me? And then follow the directions they give you, because I know we're all guilty of asking for advice and then not taking advice. So make sure that you really listen to your representation and follow it, even if it's a long shot, even if you're like, well, I don't know, that kind of puts me out of my comfort zone a bit. Sometimes we all need to be pushed out of our comfort zone. And I don't know about you guys, but these last few months in quarantine and safer at home, or whatever you want to call it, has pushed me outside of my box, of my comfort zone, extremely big, because I get to sit at home and look at myself in the mirror instead of surrounding myself with clients and networking events and all the different things that we used to do. So it's been a lot of self-awakening, which I'm sure it has been for you. So I want to encourage you to continue with that momentum of self-awareness and adjusting, and actually take the advice that you're given. Absolutely take the time. Now's the perfect time to really sit down and get a marketing strategy, with your representation. All right, let's go. Let's get out there. Let's start moving. I know Hollywood's not open yet, but it's going to be at some point. So be the actor that's ready to go, not the actor that's been sitting on the couch eating Cheetos and forgot how to memorize or do anything. Be that actor that's out there ready to go. So the second the gates are open, you are on the run and you are ready to get some work and ready to get out there. So that's my advice for you today on marketing: is listen to your representation. Talk, think, brainstorm, sit down. If you don't have representation, sit down and talk to other people. Look what other people are doing. Brainstorm. How can you get yourself out there? How can you market yourself? Be creative. Now, when I say be creative, also be careful. There is a industry norm, and when you go way outside the industry norm, it's not called being creative, it's called being annoying, and it can get you on the opposite, have the opposite effect of what you want. So don't get crazy, but be creative and add your own personal touch, add your own personality, add your own flair to what you're doing. Okay guys, that's all I have for you today on The Headshot. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I love that I have so many followers, and I love that I get so many comments. Don't forget, leave me comments, share this with everyone you know. Most importantly, have an amazing week. I'll see you next week.